And that's all that's at stake with everything that we do in business. It's how we make people feel. The transactional element of customer wants, customer hands over money, customer gets, like everybody's doing that today. But not many customers are walking out thinking, wow, that was like a pretty cool situation. Even though I had to wait for 5 minutes, I loved it. They were really nice and I'm definitely going to go back there again.
What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. What have you done for me lately?
If you see a new patient, like you should always go that extra level, but there should be like another level for a brand new patient because this just frightened. I haven't got a clue, not quite sure. Where do I go? Like the first time that you go into any place is the worst feeling in the world. Like ours are pretty cool because the doors are open in the glass, and that, don't underestimate the difference that makes, that they can actually see what they're walking into before they come in, but they're still a little bit startled when they do arrive because they just don't know what to do for that first time. So that becomes your job. If you understand that and you see it from NP on the schedule or whatever it says, you've got to go that next level of taking control of a situation. If you start off a little bit tentative and a little bit nervous, the whole thing will stay tentative and nervous. If you start off confident and authoritative and wanting to help and just looking at them, eye contact, body language, standing up, even that is a simple gesture just to stand up. Hey, come on in, welcome. Have a seat, make yourself comfy, what do you want? Can I get you a coffee? How's your day? And start that conversation for them, because you'll know what they're like. They'll kind of sit down quite slowly and, oh, no, I'm okay, and they don't really want to do anything with you, they don't really want to bother you. You don't have a relationship with them yet. So the first thing that they'll say is always no. Oh, no, it's okay, I'm fine, I've just had a coffee. Every new patient's just had a coffee somewhere. Haven't they? Yeah. Every new patient has just had a coffee. No matter where they've come from, what time of day it is, it's the first thing that they'll no, I've just had one. Okay, well, do you want another one? Like, no, I don't want one. Come on, I'll get you one. No, I don't want one. Come on, I'll have one with you. Oh, okay then. We've been through it before. It's the same thing everywhere that you see it. So it's awareness, and it's back to self-awareness of not just yourself and being engrossed in what you're doing, but then knowing that your job really is to greet and to make comfortable and make patients feel special. Yeah.
Add to that, Paul.
Yeah.
So just explain it from the customer's point of view as well, just because I experienced it this weekend. Last week, so I went to a pub restaurant place for some fish and chips for kids. And I'm a really calm guy. Nothing winds me up in the world at all. I'm dead chill. Kids can kick off and I'm chill. Unless there's two things. People pushing in front of me in a queue, I want to throw them out the window. That annoys me. And walking up to anyone serving me and them not giving me immediate attention. I walked into this pub and this guy was pulling some fucking jugs or something. Then another woman walked in and started putting glasses back. And I've gone from 0 to boiling point in 5 seconds. Why everyone doesn't stop what they're doing and run to me is beyond me. I want to say, everybody, all stop what you're doing. And the most important thing in this room now.
So it goes back to its significance, isn't it? Like we all want it and crave it, and if you don't get it, you're pretty pissed off, really. So from a business point of view, the easiest thing to do is to recognise it, is to recognise that person. And there isn't an excuse. Again, the average receptionist will say, oh, but I was busy, the phone rang, oh, but. The superstar will go, okay, I'm listening. And that is it. It's the most simplest thing on earth. That, like, why we went, again, taught all that however many years ago, but that'll always come back to the boss. The boss who runs that organisation doesn't value or doesn't understand the value that initial interaction will have on the rest of the relationship. Even if it's a James, or what was your name? James, 2 minutes, I'm going to be with you. Are you okay to wait 2 minutes, or are you in a rush? No, I'm fine. What's in our world? Are we okay to get that phone? Of course you are. Are you okay to wait? Absolutely. So it's 3 seconds to do that, to change the entire situation. Now, are you still going to wait 2 minutes to get the pint that you wanted? Yeah. But are you a boiling point? No, because you're significant all of a sudden. You asked for permission, you give them the permission. Everything's pretty cool in the world right now. And then if they come back and say, hey, thanks for waiting, okay, no problem. So it makes you feel completely different. So the scenario was the same, the situation was the same, but how we made him feel was completely different. And that's all that's at stake with everything that we do in business. It's how we make people feel. The transactional element of customer wants, customer hands over money, customer gets, like everybody's doing that today. But not many customers are walking out thinking, wow, that was like a pretty cool situation. Even though I had to wait for 5 minutes, I loved it. They were really nice and I'm definitely going to go back there again. But you see it everywhere, we speak about it all the time. Everywhere you look, the people are not self-aware enough and not given the confidence enough to do that. Because again, I think they're worried that if they say, oh, are you okay to wait? Like, it's going to start a confrontation. But like 99 out of 100 will, no problem. Yeah, fine. Because you just acknowledge me. If you acknowledge me, I'm significant. If I feel significant, I'm in the right place. It's almost like it's like celebrity status. We spoke about this before with the name thing. The moment we started to introduce the name more and more, and the name on the phone, and we knew who people were, and then we write their name on the business card, you elevate them to celebrity status. And that's what Starbucks do. So we write the name on the business card, and everything is just like so in tune to them as people, so that when they walk through here, the biggest sin, like I spoke about this before with dentists, you go in and like you're there every 6 months. It's fucking insanely bad that like they don't, like, hey Paul, like how are you, what you up to, how's it been in the last 6 months? Like you've been going there since you were 3 and they don't even know your name when you walk through the door. Like they don't try, they don't have any, like nothing at all. And yet if they do, that bond that you're going to have is completely different, because you know that place is for you. They've recognized you, they've understood you. So the moment that we switched across to the name here, in our world, it's if you again, you guys are doing your job, you're sitting down at 9:05 and going, okay, there is 12 people coming through the door today. I'm probably not going to remember 12 names, but I can probably remember 2 or 3 in the next hour. And it's Steve, Sid and Mary. It's like, how difficult is that? So at 5 to 9, I'm going to take a punt at the fact that it's going to be Steve. And at 9:20, I'm going to take a punt that it's Sid. And at 10 to 10, I'm going to take a punt that it's Mary. Like, and if I get it wrong, so what? I'm going to get it right more times than I'm going to get it wrong. But the impact of getting it right is just through the roof. And the impact of getting that right is better than anything you'll do in there. Any massage, any ACL recovery, any whatever else that we do. What are we doing there now? I forgot. I haven't done it for so long. Whatever else that you do in there. Okay. Because they expect that. What they also expect is that what he's just described. And they'll tolerate it. It's like when you're on a plane and you say, if you got, can I have a glass of Coke? Well, Pepsi do. Oh, okay. It's like, you can hardly go to the fucking next like shop, can you, to get what you want. Like, you kind of have to tolerate it. So you're not necessarily happy, but you tolerated it and it was satisfied. But wouldn't it be wonderful if, absolutely, yeah, we've got Pepsi as well, which one do you want? Rather than like having to settle for the next like 12 hours, basically. So you tolerate that and it doesn't do anything to like add to the experience, but it doesn't do anything to negate the experience. But if they do give you what you want, it like adds to it significantly. So when they come through the door here, their number one job to get right is, hey David, how's it going? Me? You remembered me? Said it before. You like me, who like everybody else ignores. Me, whose Facebook page doesn't get likes and retweets. We've fucking been through this a few times. Like, he boots off. Like, this is James, right? James, who like does Facebook shit and the internet and whatever else, right? Boots off if he hasn't had a share or a like or whatever. It's like, how insignificant does he feel? I'm trying to make you feel significant. So again, it's back to that level of customer service, customer experience. If you can take them into that world, this is like Billy Bob right now, who's just bored, is being overlooked. Like, the cars don't even fucking stop for him half the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's lucky if he's pressed the Pelican crossing and the cars have actually stopped. Like, at any point of his day, he's on boiling point. Like, anything goes on, he's like James. He's going to kick off if nobody recognises him. But it's happened for so long and for so many times that it's now just part of his day, so he just expects it. So he isn't necessarily going to kick off because this is just what everybody does. So when the guy or the girl comes along and says, oh, hey, David, nice to see you again. From the minute he opens that door, that should be the first thing that goes on. For you and for you and for you and for you, Jess, obviously when you two come back, whenever you decide to come back, but certainly for the next few months, that's kind of what you guys are going to have to pay attention to, because that changes the game. You elevate them to celebrity status the moment you do that. Starbucks introduced it, and I don't know if you were here when we first started doing it, but obviously you were. When I came back and said, I've seen this thing, I'm going to start putting names on business cards, I was like, what? Like, I'd studied the Starbucks thing, and it eventually made its way to Britain. So the reason that Starbucks put your name on a cup is, A, they can personalise what is a bog standard latte that is doesn't have any personalisation on it, and all of a sudden it's Paul's latte. But more importantly, when you're in the queue, so if you go to America and you're in a Starbucks, you know what's it like in Starbucks America? It's like it's completely different atmosphere to a coffee shop here, and there will be 15 people stood waiting for their coffee, and the girl takes great pleasure in shouting, Paul, hey Paul, we're looking for Paul, and everyone's, that's me, like it's me, and all of a sudden, like, that's Paul. It's like, that's Paul. So they've took you to celebrity status immediately. So are you going to keep going back to that coffee shop? 1,000,000,000%. Because they know who you are. And again, after 4 or 5 days, what you used to speak to me about it in Phoenix all the time, and it was just throwaway conversations. I love going in there. They get to know you. They know you from here, or they know what you're doing, because it all starts with the name. This is a coffee shop 6,000 miles away. We're talking about it right now. If you ever think that it's not important and it's all about this, good luck. Like, good luck trying to grow a business on that, because it's fraught with absolute hell and frustration. If I could run this business without that room, I'm having a damn good go at trying to do it. At some point, I mean it respectfully, I like Sammy, I just don't like all of the qualifications after her name. And if this could be Paul Gough Coffee Rooms, it one day will be. Because I can keep all of these, and I can keep all of this, and I can have all of this stuff going on and have much less hassle. So yeah, that thing going on in Starbucks, what it does to that guy when you hear your name shouted across the room is just different stratosphere of how you, because other than your your husband, partner, wife, whatever, mother or father, not many people really call you by, there's not many times in a day you'll hear your first name. Very rare. If you really think about it, you could go through most of your day and not hear your name. So when somebody does, immediately stands out. And again, not going into it too deep, but it's a chemical. It's a rush that you get when you hear your name. It's the sweetest thing, because again, it connects you to your parents, connects you to how many times a day will Scarlett hear her name in your house right now? If it's like, Harry, big ear, Harry, come here, Harry, come here. He hears his name all the time. But when he gets to about 5 or 6, 7, 8, that's going to stop. So when we call people by their name, it kind of takes them back to that as well. So pretty deep and pretty, whatever, but that's the level of, for me, as you're looking to grow a business, you can get to a point of being successful without all of this, but then there's a barrier. In what people do in our world is like, okay, I'll go on another course, I'll learn dry needling, I'll learn acupuncture, I'll learn Mackenzie, I'll learn nags and snags. It doesn't make a blind bit of difference. The energy that they have to put in isn't going to get the return that they're hoping for the business, because their energy is going down the wrong channel. What gets you to that next level is all of this stuff. Like, could you imagine if we went doing all this? I mean, she's been here from day one, pretty much, and the impact, the odd 9 month off in between, she has every now and again, but the impact that it's had hasn't really come from our growth in business, hasn't come from that, because everybody can do that.
What have you done for me lately?